Okay guys, in this video I'm going to cover a few charts. We're going to cover Bitcoin, Dow Jones, Dollar Index, S&P, Gold, Silver. I'm going to go through these charts, show you what I'm expecting. Also, by the way, I'm giving away, in this video, I'm giving away two of these 2020 American Eagle 1 ounce 0.99 silver brilliant uncirculated coins. All you have to do is subscribe, leave a like and a comment. The next live stream I will use a random comment selector to pick the winner. And I'll probably do that live stream a little later today. These charts, if you want to access them, they're on my website. It's opticalartcrypto.com. The link is in the description. All these charts play out live. You just click the link, they load up. And also follow me on Twitter. It's opticalartchart. That link will be in the description as well. At the end of this video, every day I do a live stream from 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 4 p.m. That's when the U.S. markets are open. And so I do it from open to close. So at the end of this video, about 20 minutes, that stream went on for probably 8 or so hours. So about 20 minutes at the end of that video, I'm going to let you watch the end of that live stream so you can kind of see what I was predicting, and then if you want to rewind it back, you can look at these charts I'm covering right now, and then you can see how it played out. But again, I talk about a lot of this stuff in that live stream, so make sure you do watch that at the end of this video, and I'll have a link to the live stream at the very end if you want to watch the whole thing. So first of all, this chart right here, and again, I have all of these chart names referenced so you know which chart I'm talking about. This is the Bitstamp 91820. So you can see here, looks like this is a bear flag pattern. You see this would be our pole. So typically how you measure this, you go from the pole, the flag pole here, this would be the flag, so we're bouncing back up and forth. So you would bring this down, and this would be where you would come down to. Typically, you know, the flag pole, this is the distance you would drop. So that would bring us down to around 9,974. Keep in mind, I think it's more likely a lot of buy orders are going to trigger around 10,000, so I think 10,000 would be a point you should buy. Again, even numbers is typically where people buy in. But take note, you know, when we came down, we found support on this yellow ring and this white ring. Guys, fib circles give you support and resistance levels that normally you would not be able to find. While most people were expecting this to come all the way down to 10,000, I knew there was a point that we would catch support here. And that is this chart. This is my Bitcoin Rising Wedge chart. Again, if you watch the stream, the 20 minutes, the end of that stream, the end of this video, I talk about this point to catch this support. You see we came down to this ring and we held support and we pushed back up. So how did I know that was going to happen? Well, if you look at this chart, and you know, a few videos back, I'm not sure how many back, but I created this fib circle in that video. It might have been a live stream, this one right here. You can see when every time we hit this ring, and we came up as resistance, 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 we got above it as support, support, pushed up as resistance, then it was support, 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 then we finally broke it, we hit the bottom of this wedge as support. Every time we hit the ring, it was resistance, 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 then we broke down out of this rising wedge, came down, found support on this next fib channel line down. As soon as we broke this fib channel line, that's when we came down. But notice where we dropped to. Right down to this ring, the same fib circle. When you're respecting a fib circle, you're respecting the ring above, you know when you hit the next ring down, you'll find support. So that's why I knew that this would be our support level at 10,230 rather than coming down all the way to 10,000. I do think it's likely we come down to test this support. Keep in mind, guys, exchanges make money off of liquidating longs and shorts. So if everybody's expecting this to go down, they're going to send the price up. And don't forget the bigger picture. Let me zoom out and show you. So, you know, again, this is a rising wedge. This was the last rising wedge we were in. We broke to the downside. This is when COVID happened. If you do, if in a rising wedge, you measure the mouth. And the distance you break to the downside is the distance of the mouth. So if we bring this up to where we broke down from, that takes you about to this this orange ring here. So again, my buy-in point is going to be around 7,400. If that does not hold, the next support level will be this red ring right here. This is the same ring we bottomed on after we had our drop and COVID happened. Right here around 3,900, 3,850. This is where I bought in. So I do think this will be our first ring of support if we break this orange ring. And again, if we do not hold and this comes down, I do think the ultimate bottom for Bitcoin would be around 2,926, potentially 2,647. So I did want to show you the bigger picture. Again, guys, rising wedge, we're at least coming down to 7,400 as far as I'm concerned. This here, if you do watch that live stream at the end of this video, I did create this fib circle during that live stream. It was probably, you know, that was an 8-hour live stream. It was early on in the live stream, but just to show you, you know, this method of charting I came up with. Once you had the fib channel set up, you just go from intersecting point in the fib channel to another intersecting point in the fib channel. And notice, just from going this intersecting point here to right here, look how well price is respecting this fib circle. Perfect support, resistance, respecting this ring, all of these inner rings here. And look what happens when you drop. You come down, you find support right on this ring, right up as soon as you break it. Where do you come down to? This ring here is support, also respecting the fib channel line as well. Push back up, support. We came back up, now we're finding support on this ring. So again, this is a great way to find support and resistance levels that normally you would not be able to find. This here is just another chart I'm referencing. This is the Binance 2.0 BTC USDT 51220. And the reason I'm pointing this chart out, this was another chart you could use to find support and resistance. Notice that we're finding support and resistance at this blue ring. Resistance, support, support, push up to the next ring. Pushed up again as resistance. We came down below it. It was resistance down here. Resistance. We pushed above it. Support, support. So if you load up these different charts, it can give you an idea where price can go. You can see we found support on it and pushed back up. Now we're respecting this fib channel line right here. So this is our resistance right here. So again, if we happen to push up, don't see us going this high, would be around 11,094. If we drop down below this ring, and typically what you do is you go from ring to ring. Now this is going to be support here because this is a fib channel line, but below that your support is potentially 8,801, and this fib circle here would be around 8,148. We'll have to see how this plays out. I'm just showing you different charts and how you can use them to use fib circles to find support and resistance. This here is the Bybit 321.20. This is just showing you this yellow ring keeps pushing us down. You can see back here, and again, this is why it's important to pay attention to these fib circles in different charts. And you can see prices respecting this yellow fib circle really well. Notice as soon as we cross this ring, we got a pump. Here we're finding support and resistance on this ring. We kind of rode down, it went sideways. So this ring's pushing us down. I do expect more downside, but you can see that we're respecting this fib channel line right here. So, you know, a support level based on this chart, you know, if we drop, let me grab my price label. So if we came down, you know, 9,693, don't forget, you know, we've got a gap around 9,665 that needs to be filled. That would be right down here. And if we pushed up, you clearly see this is pushing us down. So if we pushed up, like the target, if we push to the upside, it'd be 10,500. I do think if we push up, that's the highest we would go, is around 10,500. That would go along with this chart here. You can see this green fib circle here. We've been respecting it as support and resistance. Right here with support and resistance. Down here you got a lot of support, more support. We pushed up, resistance, 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 resistance. Where did we drop to? Right to this green ring, support, support, support. So if we push up, a likely resistance level, and this plays along with that 10,500, would be right here. If this ring was previously support, it can become resistance. But I do think what happened is we just came up and we tested the bottom of this bear flag as resistance. Previous support becomes resistance, so then we start coming down from here. So again, this is just showing you use different charts to potentially find out where price can go. This here, so this is a new chart added to the website, and I did this so you would have the moving averages. This is on the weekly. The name of the chart is actually Bitstamp Weekly Moving Averages 300, 200, and 100. So this light blue here, this is the 100 moving average. This orange one is the 200. You can see this is where we bottomed. This is where we dropped from 6K to 3K. We found support on it. You know, we did come way down, but it's the meat of the candle is closer to the 200 moving average. The 300 moving average, that's where we bottomed, close to it. If we go back, you see this is the 200 moving average. We found support here. It doesn't go back far enough to, the data doesn't go back far enough to see how we respected it further back. But just because we did come down and test it, I wanted to have this, and this goes along with that previous chart. So this is the orange ring I'm talking about we would bottom on. Notice this is, and this goes with, let's see, this chart right here. So the orange ring is 7,400, the red ring we bottomed to 6,800. So I'm just kind of showing you how these moving averages are kind of lining up with these rings. So it's possible, you know, this starts pushing up like this, and it's just a coincidence that you get all three of these converging at the same point. So it's likely, you know, that's why I'm saying my first buy-in point is going to be right here around 7,400. I think that's ultimately where we're headed. You know, obviously we could find support temporarily on this the 100 weekly moving average. The 200 weekly is going to be making contact. You know, I do think this is a likely first support level. But for you guys that want to use moving averages, that's why I added this to the website. Keep in mind, you know, wherever this is, if it gets really bad, this is all dependent on the stock market. I cover that in the live stream as well. But again, this would be a point you could bottom on. But I do think if we come down and we break this point, I think we will break past this moving average, and I do think this will be the bottom. Again, this is around, you know, the 3K area. I do think that is the absolute bottom for Bitcoin. So again, if this does not hold, if we hit this point, I'll have a stop loss below, you know, ready to see if we accumulate and start our bull run. If it breaks past this, this is the point I'll buy in long term to ride it up. Let's cover the Dow Jones. So this is the Fib circle, guys. I was telling you, if you've been following me, every time we cross one of these orange rings, we have a drop. This is the same chart I used to predict the last stock market crash. I said it was going to be the last week of February back in 2019. This was that ring we crossed. We had a major drop. Notice we bottomed on this orange ring. And this is what I was talking about. Soon as we hit this orange ring, this is where I put in my short. And you can see we came down, we crossed it, we went up a bit, and we started coming down. So as far as I'm concerned, this point right here, this was the start of the crash. Where's my vertical line? Right here on the September 3rd. Keep in mind, the Great Depression, coincidentally, it was September 3rd where we put in our highest peak. It was September 4th we started coming down, which I think is just kind of a coincidence. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but it's just kind of crazy that it played out that way, the peak in the Great Depression 1929, and also where I'm calling that the stock market is going to continue to come down. But the point is, you can see this ring has sent us down. As far as the Dow Jones, according to this chart, your support level below is 26,645. Your next major support is 25,735, and then we will respect all of these rings on the way down. But I think your strongest support is going to be this orange ring right here. And again, this is the same Fib circle. If it gets really bad, I think if we put in that bottom at if Bitcoin drops all the way down to 3,000, maybe 2,900, I think that's if you know, stocks push down, at least the Dow, and we test this bottom ring we bottomed on last time. But I do think this is the first strongest support that needs to hold. If this does not hold, I think ultimately we're coming down to this point. Let me go through the next chart here. So this is the Dow Jones. This is a different chart just to give you smaller targets. In that last live stream, I was showing that this was going to be our resistance. We hit it, we got rejected, we came down. This looks bearish to me. You see we found support on this trend line here. We found support twice. We pushed up, resistance, we found support here. We dropped through. Now we're underneath this resistance. So again, to me, that's bearish for the Dow Jones. Your first support on this chart is 26,646. Your next support is 26,312. And then you will find support on this white ring below. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I will probably do a live stream after this video. Currently, you can see the Dow Jones is down. We're down 162 points. We'll have to pay attention to that. If you've been following me, I've been talking about the dollar was looking bullish. Let me go to this chart first. This is where I was talking about that we were in a descending broadening wedge. This here, this is the resistance line that's been holding the dollar down. This was back in May 14th, resistance. This is 22nd of May, resistance. A lot of resistance here. As soon as we broke above this resistance, you can see we came up, we tested resistance, tested again, we finally broke above it. That's when it got bullish, because we broke a resistance line. And when it's keeping you down and then you break above it, that's bullish. On top of that, we were in a descending broadening wedge. This coming from a downswing, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, support, got rejected at the line, got rejected, came up, tested the top of the descending broadening wedge, came down, tested our resistance line, pushed back up as resistance. We finally broke above this, and then we broke above this fib channel line as well. So this is super bullish for the dollar. I do expect the dollar to get rejected around 94.71. This might be an ideal time if you did want to long Bitcoin, silver, or gold, because I do expect the dollar to get rejected here temporarily and come down, but I do think eventually it is going to break this resistance. And again, the dollar up, that's bearish for Bitcoin, stocks, gold, silver. This here is also a chart I created. This is using Fib circles to kind of predict where the dollar is going. You can see how well price has been respecting this blue Fib circle. I think it's pretty obvious. And you can see as we push up, we're bouncing between each one of these rings. You see we came up, we found resistance, came down, we found support on this ring, found perfect resistance, perfect support, we pushed back up. So now we're trying to break this resistance here at 94.49. Your next resistance in this blue Fib circle is 94.62. Guys, I expect this to continue up, and again, that goes along with this, but do expect to get rejected around 94.71. Let's see here, the SPX. So what's interesting is this white ring. Let me zoom out a bit and give it some MACD RSI. So every time we hit one of these white rings in this white Fib circle right here, we get rejected. So we got rejected here and here. We got a slight rejection here, pushed above it, found support. We did wick above it a bit. You see we came up, we found resistance, we pushed above it. Again, this goes along with the Dow as well. We peaked on the 3rd of September. We've been coming down ever since. So every time we push up, notice we're riding up this yellow ring. We break the yellow ring, come down to the next yellow ring. We just broke this yellow ring. So, a lot of people probably looking at this as a double bottom, where this might be a bullish to push up. That might be possible. I think it's more likely we come down and test this next Fib channel line down here. I think this could be a pivot ring to send us down further, but your first support is going to be around 3,184, and then your next support will be this ring, because you can see that's what happens. You find support in a yellow ring, you break it, come to the next yellow ring, find support. We broke this yellow ring, so it seems likely we'll come down, test this yellow ring. Watch and see how this plays out today, but this is around 3,157. This is gold. If you watch the end of this video, when you watch that live stream, I was telling you that gold likely support level is going to be around 1,848. You can see we did find support here, so we'll see if we push back up. Your resistance for gold now is going to be around 1,884. I do think very strong support for gold, if we keep pushing down, will be around 1,767. This is silver. The silver chart's been pretty on point. You see we came down, found support again, we broke below it. This was the next support level I had, was $21.86. We've been testing this a lot. It's possibly pushed back up. This depends on the dollar and the stock market. I do think $21.49 will hold a strong support. So again, guys, just want to cover these charts. Again, I'm going to start the end of that stream now so you can watch it. But don't forget, guys, if you do want to qualify to win one of these coins, there will be 2 coins, 2 winners. Just comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll use that random comment selector to pick the winner. Again, these charts play out live. You just click the link, they load up. If you want to access these charts, the link is in the description. It's opticalartcrypto.com. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. It's Optical Art Chart. So I'm going to go ahead and play that live stream, guys, so you can see what I was predicting, calling for yesterday. And then if you want, rewind back, and then you can look at these charts again and see how they played out. We got 20 minutes. A lot can happen in 20 minutes, guys. If this goes south, Bitcoin is definitely going south. If it holds support, then we'll have to see what happens. Well, and keep this in mind, as the value of the dollar goes up, Bitcoin's pegged to the US dollar. The value of the US dollar comes up, Bitcoin has no choice but to come down, just because you can buy more Bitcoin with the dollar. And the S&P is pushing up. It's trying. Well, again, I have 2 different Dow charts. So when you're looking at right now, this is pivot ring. That is the one I used to predict this drop when the start of the drop happened. The other chart is more zoomed in. But yes, we did break that support. So to me, that is bearish on the Dow. We're now coming up to test that as resistance. Notice we tested it once, twice, 3 times. It broke below it. We came back up. Now we're below it as resistance. So for me, yeah, the Dow seems like it's likely to come down and test that next support level. But it looks like everything's kind of going sideways. You got a little red candle on the 2 hour for the dollar right now. But guys, yeah, I'm bearish on everything. It's possible, you know, Bitcoin holds here for a little bit, goes sideways. It might even push up a bit. Keep in mind your resistance above right now is right here. This is your resistance for Bitcoin, 10,384 according to this chart. Guys, reference different charts. Get to know those charts. Watch them play out. Get a feel for them, and then you'll be able to play them better. But this right here represents how far this would come down if this played out as a classical bear flag. It should come down and test 9,963. Keep in mind, buy orders will trigger around 10,000. So we probably won't reach this target. It's possible, Malk. It's possible. But I think a lot of people forget how manipulated Bitcoin is and how few own so much Bitcoin and control the market. And also, do not forget, look up Blockchain Whispers. I know it only has like 3 exchanges, but guys, if everybody is short, expect to get a wick up to liquidate those shorts before it continues down. So be smart, guys. If the majority of people are long, expect it to come down. The majority of people are short, expect it to go up. And then once that happens, it'll correct and go the natural way it should have gone in the first place. But guys, it is heavily manipulated. Just do not forget that. First and foremost, it is manipulated, it is unregulated, it is the Wild West. They do what the hell they want. And I've been saying it for a while, guys. Cash is king. People said, no way, dollar's done. Guys, dollar's making a comeback. Dollar is the new thing. That's true. Just play it smart. Be the contrarian. Alright, be right back, guys. We got 16 minutes to see what happens, and then I'm very curious to see what happens, because after a day like this, and don't forget, guys, we have not put in we have not gone lower than our previous bottom for the Dow and the S&P. Once that breaks, if that's tomorrow or before market close in 15 minutes, it's when we break this point and go below our previous bottom. That's when I expect Bitcoin to really start making its move. So keep that in mind, okay? We haven't dropped lower than we dropped previously. Once that happens, I think we're really headed down for Bitcoin. Yeah, Gap Boys, that's eventually, yeah, sure. But probably 10 years down the road. Do understand, the only reason the dollar is pushing up right now is because smart money is jumping out of gold, jumping out of silver, jumping out of these tech stocks. And as the stock market keeps coming down, more and more people are going to jump out, and they're going to jump into what? The US dollar. Dollar continues up. It's a lagging indicator showing you what's happening. People are bailing out of stocks. They're overvalued. They expect this thing to tank. That's why the dollar is going up. And Bitcoin will follow suit. We know this because we saw what happened last time. So the only indicator you need, I mean, yeah, it's good to have support and resistance levels because you can play these bounces, but I mean, look at gold. We're almost down to $1,849. What was the high for gold? I mean, we're down from 2,074. We're down to 1,860. That's absolutely insane. I'm gonna buy me some gold coins pretty soon. Discounted gold coins, guys. Make sure you subscribe, because I told everybody if I hit 50,000 subscribers, I'm gonna give away a gold coin. I'll still give away the Silver Eagles, but when I get 50,000 subs, I'm gonna give away a gold coin. It'll be I think quarter ounce, something like that. I don't know. I have to figure it out. OptiArt's in charge of that. Again, I'm telling you, this ring right here will hold its support. So if you're looking for a temporary support level, I think this is a strong support, 10,219. How long it holds, I have no idea. You can see right now we're finding support of this blue rings. That's why I say load up the charts, watch how they play out. It was expected we find support on this blue ring because we've been respecting it for a while. And keep in mind, we just added this yellow fib circle during the stream, and we've been respecting it. We came down. Look, we wicked. This is on the 30-minute. We came down. The meat of the candle is right above this yellow ring. It's not a coincidence, guys. It's Fibonacci. And we came up. Now we got resistance. Your support is 10,238. The support level here is around 10,220. So it looks like this is your first support. And this is all dependent on the Dow and S&P. If this just tanks, then it's very likely that this will play out right here. Right here. A bear flag. The bear flag, if this bear flag plays out, you would come down to around 9,963. So it depends on what happens. Yeah, I think Fibonacci was a pretty smart guy. I mean, he figured out friggin' nature. He found those secret numbers. Yeah, guys, if you want to tip, if you want to leave a tip in the Bitcoin jar, it's the address is in the description, and I got the little barcode thing on my Twitter account. Guys, follow me on Twitter, guys. It's Optical Art Chart, and I'll let you guys know when I have a live stream also. S&P's coming down, Dow's coming down. We got 11 minutes left. We're breaking our support. DS, you have to decide that for yourself. I'm sure there's plenty of trades to play on the way down. I try to give you different charts with support levels. If you go back and you look how many times it was tested, you know, if you're smart enough, you can figure it out. But I'm not buying until we hit around 7,000. If that does not hold, then I'm buying around 3,000. And I'm trying to show you, when you watch these charts play out live, pay attention to which chart holds the support. This blue ring has held as resistance and support going way back. So this is a strong support level to break, around 10,259. Actually, it was right at 10,250 basically when we hit this blue ring. Yeah, don't forget, we do have a gap down there at around 3,500, something like that. But again, I'm telling you, this is the start of what's to come. There's going to be a lot more downside. This possible. Last time we bottomed, I bought right at 3,900. Immediately right when I bought at that point, it shot straight up 50% in a matter of a minute. So is it possible it pumps and it shoots right up right at that point? Yeah, it's very possible. It's also possible it drops right through it. So be quick with your stop loss. But we are coming down on the S&P. We're about to break our previous low, guys. It could be a double bottom. If we break past it, I mean, this thing could just tank. Yeah, the next gap to fill below is around 9,600 and something. 9,666, something like that. Yeah, I think possibly, guys, if you want to chance it, I think around $7, $6.90, $7, something like that, I think is a good buy for Chainlink if you want to chance it. But if Bitcoin still is tanking, you might want to be careful about that. And guys, if you do want to sign up for these charts, I've got a lot of them. All of the charts have been updated. I am adding new charts, but all the current charts on the website, every single one has been updated. This is a link if you do want to subscribe. Keep in mind, guys, my contact form, I will have that fixed today after the stream. I do not know why it stopped working, but I do have my email address there, so just copy my email address and email me directly. This is my email address, guys, right here if you need to contact me if you have any issues, and I'll respond to these emails after I kill this stream. Picture my way, all I can tell you is when I do live streams and I make tweets, I show you the charts I'm looking at that's relevant to me. You know, some of these charts I delete, and then people send me an email and say, hey, why did you delete that chart? I was using it. Guys, load up the different charts. Look at them. Find a chart that works for you. I chart them different ways, find different support levels. Guys, there are so many different support levels at different angles. You know, I could have so many lines on the chart, it'd be impossible to read. So load up a chart. See if it works for you. If not, load up another chart, or just use the charts that I'm referencing in the live streams or on Twitter. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is I expect this thing to keep tanking. The stock market's going to crash. It's going to continue to go down. Bitcoin's going to go down as well. Your first support level is going to be around 7,000. If that does not hold, your next support is around 3,000. That's it, guys. That's all you need to know. And wherever we bottom, if you have an altcoin that you like, some shit coin that you like, and you want to buy in, when Bitcoin bottoms and starts pushing back up, that's when you buy your shitcoin. And we are about to break our previous low on the S&P. The Dow is at negative 585. See this? That yellow line right there is our previous low. No, I just like to figure stuff out, guys. I just like to figure things out. And using Fib channels and Fib circles, I can find all kinds of crazy stuff. And the most important thing is this is the second time, guys. Keep this in mind. It was in 2019. I used the same Fib circle to predict the last crash a month in advance. I said it was going to happen the last week of February. We crashed, guys. People said you're nuts. You can't predict the crash on the stock market. I did it. Predicted the crash for Bitcoin as well. And I'm telling you, this ring, I've been calling this ring. You've been following my videos and my live streams. I said this ring, watch this ring. This is going to send everything down. This is the beginning of the crash. You can see how much we've come down since we hit this ring. Professional traders, professional people doing stock trading were saying, oh, this is probably just the bottom. We're going to start pushing back up. It's still bullish. Bullshit. This ring said we were coming down. We've been coming down ever since. Same thing's going to happen to Bitcoin. So I am not bullish. One more crash. This is the start. Be ready to buy the bottom. We got one more. We're going to catch it. We catch falling knives here, guys. That's what we do. We catch a falling knife by the handle. So yeah, I'm ready to catch the bottom one more time and then be bull Steve. Well, you know, it's funny. I got into stocks because I just wanted to get into it. A lot of people were requesting me to create charts for them. And then it's good because we see how correlated Bitcoin is with the stock market. So it worked out really good. Some things just work out the way they're meant to. And there's another indicator. Warren Buffett jumping out. Come on, guys. And just people forget how bad things are in the U.S. economy. I can't, people overlook that. This is totally expected. Without the damn orange ring. Orange ring just said this is when it's going to happen. If everybody expects the stock market to crash by the elections, then expect it to happen before, because it's not going to happen when everybody expects it to happen. Not everybody has this orange ring. We do. We have this orange ring. We knew when to pay attention. I knew when to put in my short right here on the Dow at 29,135. I knew when to get out here at 27,848. I did put in a short here, or right here, that didn't play out. Apparently, the longer you stay in a put, it becomes worthless. If I'd put in my put right here, I've done pretty good. But again, I broke even, you know, not losing money. That's all I care about. There's still people bullish on Bitcoin. They still think, you know, this is just a regular retrace. It'll be coming back up. I think they have no idea what's coming. No idea. It's all dependent how far the stock market comes down, guys. That's your indicator. But do keep in mind, you know, if you want to, this is a good trade. I'm giving you a setup for a trade here. When the dollar pushes up and hits 94.69, I expect the dollar to get rejected and come back down. This would be a perfect opportunity. If you're at support somewhere on a Bitcoin chart and you see the dollar hit that point on this previous chart right here, hit 94.69, this would be a perfect time to long gold, silver, whatever stock you want to long, or if you want to long Bitcoin, that would be a perfect point. Just like when the dollar got rejected here at this blue ring, pushed down, you know, stocks start pushing back up. Your next resistance, 94.49, 94.69. So pay attention to those two numbers for the dollar to start pushing back down. Perfect opportunity to long. Again, when you look at the RSI, if you're looking at it on the 30-minute and the 1 hour, if you go to the 2 and the 4 hour, it can look completely different. The best way to use the RSI is if you're looking at a chart, you know where your support resistance levels are. If you're already up at resistance, right at resistance, RSI is overbought, you know, then it's very likely you'll come down. So if you use the RSI and the MACD together with support resistance levels, then yeah, I think you can use it to make safe trades. But if you're just using it and you don't know where your support resistance levels are, you're just gambling. But yes, I found it a very good, useful tool. That's why I have it on the charts, guys. If you're at support, you're oversold, yeah, likely it's going to push back up. Play the bounces. But again, I don't use leverage, guys. I make money buying the big bounces. So again, 7,000, that holds. Maybe we go on our accumulation phase to the moon. If that does not hold, we go to 3K. We got 1 minute till the market's closed, guys. Let's see what happens. And do notice the dollar is coming down. Yeah, I don't like saving the charts like this because I have to go back and I have to, this is on the 3 hour. I mean, I'll save it the way it is. Yeah, I'll go back and I'll update it. So if I forget to come back to the chart, when you load the chart up, these labels will be in the way of price, but it's updated. This is the index B chart. It's been saved. I can keep this one saved. I'll just move these. These are pretty much horizontal anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so the dollar index A chart has been saved. Gold, I'll just move these out a bit. Do keep in mind your first support is going to be right here at 1,849. Your next support below. And I do think if we drop down as low as $1,767 could be very strong support for gold. So if you're looking for a point to long gold, if we come down this low, this will be very strong support. So I saved gold. Silver, your first support for silver, $22.43. I'll go back after the stream and kind of adjust these a bit so they work on a cell phone if you're using them. Alright, market closed. And guys, I use this for aftermarket trading. If you want to use this, here's the link. Just to kind of get an idea. It's for the Dow. I'm sure they have them for the S&P and the NASDAQ as well. But you can watch this overnight, you know, aftermarket trading to get an idea which way this is going to go in the morning. But I can say the Dow, if we look at this chart here, it's very possible tomorrow we continue down. Your next support 26,650. We pretty much bottomed where we bottomed last time on the Dow Jones. The S&P, we didn't quite bottom. We were only off by, wow, 4 points. So a lot of people might think this is a double bottom, so this might be bullish. I think most traders would say, okay, this is a double bottom, so this will probably go back up. That's very possible. I can tell you that just going by the Dow, this looks bearish. As far as the S&P, we'll have to see. And notice right here on this chart, look, we're finding support right here on this blue ring. So again, guys, load up different charts, watch how they work, watch how they play out. We know this blue ring has been very strong resistance and support. As soon as we hit it, we got to bounce. If you pushed up, you could expect this to be a resistance right up here. Don't see us going that high. That's why I say reference different charts, guys. I chart them different ways to give you different perspectives to look at the different charts on different exchanges. Yeah, Bitcoin's pushing up. Market close. Dollar still pushing up. So it'll be interesting to see if we make it above this resistance right here. Let me make sure this is saved. And pull these out a bit. And again, this is the Bitstamp 72620. So I saved this with these markers. I'm going to delete these later because within the next, this is on the 30-minute actually. Let's see if we push above that or get rejected. Not holding his resistance. Why are the ring different depending on the BTC exchange? The rings are different based on where I position them. There's an infinite number of ways to set up these Fib circles, but I found a method where I create these Fib circles. You just go from one point to one point, instantly match price action, and you know for a fact you'll respect those rings going forward. That's why I created this method of charting, guys. You have to watch my tutorials to understand it. If you watch the beginning of the stream, you'll see where I created this yellow Fib circle right here. And you'll see how easy I created it. I mean, instantly, it just went from one random point to another point. I mean, it's not really random. It's intersecting points on a Fib channel. But I picked one, went to another one, and it fit price action perfectly. Yes, if the Dow and the S&P continue down tomorrow, expect Bitcoin to have a pretty good dump.